Hello, this is Distracted Lord, and welcome back to Scrap Mechanic. And I have over here a little something I built. It's a kind of spaceship thing, and it's a very interesting spaceship thing because it works differently to most spaceships. So I'm supposed to. So if we just hop in, and I can shut this. We have a bunch of buttons. So, we'll get to most of them in a minute, but first off, let's talk about the very interesting thing about this spaceship, which is the fact that it does this. So as you can see, there is a bunch of rings, and these rings spin. And you may be wondering what use this is, and the use is for this. So I'm pressing A and D there, D and A. Same thing happens with W and S. And you see, we point up, down, left, right. Because how this is working is it's spinning these rings. These rings have quite a bit of mass because they're made from concrete. And when I slow them down, it's like a helicopter. If you just didn't have the tail fin, the helicopter would spin the opposite direction to the blades. That's what happens here. If I slow this down, then there's something spinning forwards and nothing spinning backwards to counteract it, and so it just spins. But it does fly, it doesn't just sit here. I can also turn the upwards thrust, and then we can take off the landing gear, and we can go forwards. There are two forwards. We have this forwards, and this forwards. This one slightly tilts us. This one doesn't. That's just for fine control reasons. And anyway, we can fly it around. I have to say I'm not the best pilot. That is something that I should definitely put out there. So one is the roof thing, what's it called, cockpit. 2 landing gear, 3 and 4 are thrust. 5 is spin the spinny things. 6 is hover, like the upwards thrust that keeps it from falling out of the sky. And 7 is this. We have guns. Let's just not crash into the trees, but as you can see, not gunfire. Oh, it's lagging. Oh, I've crashed. Rolled. Yeah, looking backwards while trying to fly is not a great idea. Alright, so getting back in the air again. If I just turn back on the guns, you can see there is many potatoes flying out the end. There's 8 guns, it's hooked to a 4 logic gate system. I seem to have lost some of the roof. How? Did I somehow manage to shoot myself? Because I'm just going to say there is no possible way that can happen. But, well, it's Scrap Mechanic, so that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Let's just see if I can actually get a landing without too much crashing. And turn that off, don't I? Yeah! Perfect. Not at all really bouncy. So somehow I have managed to lose some of the roof. None of the guns are pointing at the roof. I think if you have the guns on and you turn too sharply, sometimes the spuds hit it. Now I'm just gonna show you how you fly this thing. Well, how you should fly this thing. I obviously fail at flying this thing because I'm a terrible pilot. But what you do is just like this, get in, and then you close that. And then what you do is you press 5, this turns on the spinny things. And then you press 6, which turns on the thrust. And then what I like to do is I turn off the landing gear, point upwards and press 3 and 4. Now you have to be quite quick about that because it will mostly hover, but it's not quite perfect. Also, for some reason the controls are not being nice today. They're not. Come on, just let me do the fine movements, please. There. So as you can see, we are fairly stable but we are still going down. So you need to use some thrust and get yourself into the air, because if you take out the landing gear, theoretically you will just then hit the ground. So you have to be quite quick about it. Also, don't crash this thing into trees. I'm gonna say that I have got one crashed into a tree somewhere, and I'm not going to go anywhere near it because it's a little laggy. I should probably get rid of it. Also, barrel rolling is probably not a smart plan, although we surprisingly didn't completely break everything doing that. But yes, crashing it into trees makes the wheels get stuck and then strange things happen. And now this is how you land it. You just try and hover roughly above what you want to land on. And let's just give it a bit forward. And then you have to try and make it flat. It's awkward. And you've got to get out the landing gear. Don't want to let it bounce like that. You just want to turn off the up thrust and let it sink. And then you can turn that off, and you can open this up, and you can fall out. Yeah, that's not really a great way of getting in, because if I just do this, then an ordinary person walks up to this and goes, well, how do I get in? Because the switch is up there. And I can't see the switch from here. I can try climbing up here and I can't get to it. So that is a slight downside with this thing. I perhaps should have considered putting the switch somewhere other than on top up here. But I have the levitation rod so I can fly, but that is something you just have to be aware of. Let's just perform another takeoff, because flying this thing is fun. So what we do is we point upwards, spin around, off we go. And that's how we end up, and that's how we fly off in the opposite direction to the way we just came from. Let's go over here again. Let's see if I can actually land on this thing, which in the past I have not been very successful at doing. Try. It would help if my pitch controls were actually responsive. If we can land next to it, that's fine. Sure. Yes, the pitch controls can occasionally be a little unresponsive. It's not great, but it's scrap mechanic. Because I've made this thing completely vanilla, so there's a WD converter in here, and it's sluggish sometimes. That is my little creation here. It's taken a few hours to make, and it's pretty much only a proof of concept, and apparently it can dance. The proof of concept sort of thing, just to show that mass can be used to spin. It's not very efficient, I'm going to be honest. Thrusters would be a lot easier. But, well, it's unique, I think. I haven't actually checked. Someone may have done this already. That would be kind of sad. Thank you for watching. Don't get distracted. Go subscribe now. Until next time, goodbye.